Money, corruption, abuse, misogyny, and prejudice in an African context. That is, in a nutshell, the basis of Cape Town's opera's Rigolleto. Now, the production, which is directed by the award-winning Marthinus Basson, will launch the CTO's 2017 program and bring the highly respected Artscape to a classic life, bring it to life for 4 nights only, starting tonight. Fikile Mvinjelwa plays the lead and the title role and is no stranger to Rigolleto, and interesting enough, has had a magnificent working relationship with the director of the show for the past 20 years. Now, assistant director and choreographer of Rigoletto, Mark Hoeben, joins me from our Seapoint studios. Mark, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us from Seapoint. Maybe for the benefit of our viewers, for somebody who's never seen Verdi's Rigoletto, can you sum it up for us?
Well, it's the court jester who works for the Duke, and he is the whole court plot against him because they think he has a secret wife. And they plan to abduct her and rape her. And in the course of it, he tries to protect her, and she's actually his daughter. And they do this. He plans revenge on the Duke. And in the end, what she does, he plans to get the Duke killed. And she substitutes herself for the Duke's body and gets killed by an assassin. And at the end of the opera, Rigoletto discovers that revenge doesn't always pay.
Let's talk about this theme.
That helps you.
Yeah. Let's talk about the themes of power, money, corruption, abuse, misogyny, and prejudice. That sounds awfully familiar, like a South African plot to anything?
Exactly. No, it does sound very apposite, really. I mean, this was written in the 18th century. And one is shocked to discover that people haven't changed. And it was set in Italy, so it's not as if it doesn't happen everywhere else in the world. But I think the thing that is shocking about it is how the treatment of women and the attitudes towards women are so present then and are still present today. And the way men band together and see women as possessions, see women as conquests, and really seem to have very little respect for women. And the opera highlights that. But funnily enough, with the most famous aria from it, La Donna è mobile, which means women are fickle, the music is so seductive and the music is so beautiful that most people say, oh, I love that, when you're saying, do you know what he's saying? He's saying women you cannot trust and women are going to lead you astray. So there's a whole sense of our political landscape is also shown. Marthinus has conceived it. It's against the backdrop of women being abducted for use as sex slaves. And then the men in the court there are men who are kind of up-and-coming, sexy young businessmen. There are men who are kind of thugs. There are men that are politicians, to mirror the society that we live in. But as I say again, that this society existed in the 1800s as well.
Considering that this production was written such a long time ago and that we always talk about the African narrative, are you then forced to bring in a nuance that an audience can understand, or is this written in such a perfect way that you leave it untouched?
It is left untouched. The only thing that has changed is the people who are singing are not Italian, and the context, the setting, is clearly Africa. But otherwise, nothing has been changed. I mean, it's really... The story is, I think that's the thing with so many big stories. They survive. And they are always applicable to any society. It's depressing in one way. But, I mean, with such beautiful music, one kind of can wish certain things away. And I think despite the kind of terrible society that this happens in, and I mean, one doesn't even realize the Duke is married as well. And seeking all these different women that he sleeps with from day to day. But even though that the young girl at the center of it, Gilda, who's played by Nolovuyiso Mpofu,
Yeah,
sacrifices herself for love.
for sure.
And that's something that's so beautiful.
Mark, unfortunately, we've run out of time. I could have this conversation with you in length. It is starting at the Cape Town. It's the Cape Town Opera's Rigolleto. It will happen at the Artscape, running from the 14th to the 16th, and then of course will start.
No, to the 18th.
Will run on from the 14th to the 18th of February. To find out more about the details, you can go to the Cape Town Opera's website .co.za. That's Mark Hoeben talking to us. He's assistant director and choreographer. Time for us to welcome our second music guest here on Morning Live.